The new season 2 Invincible trailer just dropped and we're going to run through it. The trailer starts with a newscaster reporting after the Mark and Nolan fight in Chicago. It appears to take place during the reconstruction of the city, so we have to assume it's a few weeks or months afterward. We get a quick clip of the fight, and then we cut to Mark visiting the spot where his father said to him, "In 500 years, what will you have?" before leaving the planet. A lot of people in our comments have mentioned how the animation of the characters looks a little bit different. I can see what they're saying, and my best guess is that after the surprise success of Invincible Season 1, they received a healthier budget and put a lot of that into upgrading the animation. The VO says, "For some, the pain will never fade." And this is not only for the thousands of people injured or killed. Check out that video we made about how many people were killed in Season 1 of Invincible in the end card, but also for Mark, who was massively betrayed by the person he looked up to most. Mark's VO says, "When I was a kid, I always wanted to be my dad." And now he's actually afraid that he might become unintentionally his father. This is likely going to be a major theme throughout the first half of season 2. I don't know how long they're going to drag it out and where they're finally going to reintroduce Nolan, but we know we'll see him this season, and if I had to guess, I would say it's on the earlier side rather than later. Another thing you have to remember, we see a bit in the trailer that people don't know what Mark will do next. Sure, he looked like he fought his father, but is he a good guy? Is he someone that can be trusted? He asks Cecil to give him more responsibility so he can help more people, but you can understand Cecil's apprehension. It looks like some people are shooting at Mark in this scene, but it certainly doesn't bother him. We then cut to this clip, and I don't know who these guys are, but this pink kind of barrier that's broken appears to be Adam Eve's kind of power shattering. At least that's what it looks like to me. Alan the alien makes an appearance, and he says that Mark isn't like other Viltrumites. We also see Thaddeus, who is the leader of the Coalition of Planets, the organization that Alan works for. Their goal is to stop the Viltrumite expansion. He's looking at pictures and videos of Mark, potentially questioning whether or not he can trust him and get him into the fold. You can see that this picture over here is from Invincible's fight with Omni-Man. It appears that Amber has forgiven Mark for lying about being invincible from season 1, but man, the Amber character got a lot of people's blood boiling in season 1. In the comics, she pretty much fades away in the first third of the overall story. I think they're going to keep her around a little bit more in the TV show, but I do think by the end of the season that her and Mark will no longer be in a relationship. So I'm curious to see how they continue this character once that love aspect kind of goes away. We also meet Shapesmith, who is a fun character. He has the ability to shapeshift into anyone or anything. And for those who remember season 1, we know we've met people that can already do that, the Martians. If you remember the end of episode 4, one of the Martians escaped Mars by switching places with an astronaut, Russ Livingston. Well, that Martian became Shapesmith. We are then shown Angstrom Levy and the Mauler twins. This is what I think the major storyline of season 2 is going to be. The first season had Nolan and the mystery of who killed the Guardians. This season, it's going to be all about Angstrom and what he's up to. He has the ability to navigate other dimensions or kind of go throughout the multiverse. The Mauler twins are always up to something and they're brilliant builders and scientists, so it makes sense that they have a little bit of a partnership here. When Invincible attempts to stop them, Ingstrom gets disfigured, and well, Pete blames everything on Mark. There's more to this, but I'm going to leave some out just so that there's more mystery and I'm not spoiling much of the season. We see Mark punch this red shirt Viltrumite like you should be punching the like and subscribe button. And I call him a red shirt because I don't remember this guy's name. There are 3 Viltrumites who first come to Earth after Nolan leaves and Mark fights them, but I don't remember this guy. From earlier trailers, we know that Doc Seismic is coming back and will fight Mark at the Washington Monument with a few of his creatures, the Magmamites. It looks like Mark gets captured by the Mauler twins based on these fists punching him, and a deformed Ingstrom Levy says, "Make him pay for what he did to your world." And you see these guys in the background who appear to be working with Ingstrom. Now, this could be our Mark, it could be a Mark from another dimension, we don't know. We see poor Debbie struggling with the remains of her life after Nolan's left, and she kind of understands that the last 20 years of her life were a lie. In the comics, she goes full-blown alcoholic, and in the first season, they kind of hinted at that by having her drinking a bunch. I think we're likely going to see that, and hopefully she recovers and rebounds quickly. We see Kilcannon fighting with Eve, and then probably the most expected fight of the season. Now I'm saying expected, not anticipated. The Immortal, who was twice killed by Nolan, attacks Mark because, well, he doesn't know or trust what Mark did against his father. So all he knows is that Mark's another Viltrumite and he can't let him just survive. We see the Lizard League, which is the same team from the Adam Eve special we got this summer, fighting the current Guardians of the Globe. Then Mark fighting this big underwater beast who he must defeat because of some Atlantean tradition after Aquarius is killed. Yeah, it's a whole thing. I hope it's quick because it's kind of dumb in the comics. And this is a scene we see before what are probably the two biggest scenes in the trailer. The first is Omni-Man standing in front of a black hole or supernova. It's so beautifully drawn and really shows his strength. Anytime someone says Homelander can beat him, just remember this image. And finally, we see a completely destroyed world where it appears Angstrom, Adam Eve, and Robot are hiding from Mark. And Mark makes a bone chilling speech. People of Earth, the more you resist, the worse it gets. You think you can stop us? Don't forget, I'm. And then it cuts to the wonderful Invincible logo. For people not paying attention to Angstrom's powers, this is probably confusing, but Angstrom travels throughout the dimensions, and Mark isn't a good guy in all of them. And I think we're seeing a dimension or a universe where Mark sided with Nolan and brought the end of the world. So don't worry, our Mark isn't about to kill everyone. This show would be really messed up if it did. Well, thanks for watching, and let me know what you thought the best part of this trailer was. Also, please subscribe because we're going to be doing a lot more Invincible videos. Well, that's it for me. Take it easy, YouTube.